Hello and welcome to Music with Mason. My name is Mason Fall. I'm here joined with the metal band from Davenport, the legendary Saint October. How are you guys doing today?
Good. I'm doing way better after I just learned we're legendary.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're legendary.
Listen.
Man.
I'm a Quad Cities native. You guys have been going to so many venues these past couple of years, and it's just been a pleasure to see you guys play. And we're so glad to see you guys keeping strong, going active.
Heck yeah.
Oh, shoot. I'm going to put that in the band bio now. The legendary.
That's right. That's right. Don't let anyone say otherwise. Just saying. But yeah.
You know what? We will take it.
So Saint October, you guys are known for your album Whatever Darkness, and you're actually going to be releasing your music video for Sweet Succubi. And I just want to say that is actually incredible. How is the process of it going so far?
It is in editing. It's in the editing process right now. We have successfully not burned ourselves with the fire. And
yeah, there's a big fire scene in it.
Yeah, about 10 gallons of jet fuel.
Oh, wow. That is a lot. How do you get your hands? How do you get your hands on 10 gallons of jet fuel?
We have our ways.
We unspecified sources that could be in trouble if we give out too much information.
We'll keep it on the down low. We are underground after all. So,
no, there was also awesome makeup and cool costumes.
Yeah, I mean, coming from you guys, that doesn't seem like a surprise at all, considering all the concerts you do are amazing, with especially the way you dress.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, who wants to get off work to go see a bunch of jackasses who look just like them, who just got off work themselves when you go to a show?
I mean,
probably the patrons of my other bands.
Yeah, you either go big or go home. That's the rules.
Oh yeah. You know, we're thinking about going K-pop next. You know, the corpse paint, K-pop.
Okay, all right.
You got to get on drums.
Not you.
Not me.
Wow.
That'd be the joke.
Oh, yeah. So we're going to go dive into a little of the background. But before we do, I just wanted to get some updates. On March 9th, you rocked your first show of the year with bands like Bachelor's Grove and Lost in the Echo, and even Feels Like Karma at the WC Social Club. That's just amazing to hear in Chicago. So it's a bit of a journey, about a few hours out. Have you guys ever done a show with this big of a lineup before? And have you guys, if it compares to the other lineups that you've been across, like the smaller lineups, like what's the difference, do you feel like?
Well, I mean, we've definitely played with more national acts.
I think Wednesday 13 is the biggest band that I played with these guys. Or maybe Goat Horror Station.
Or Nervosa.
I think I was on that show. Venom Inc. was a pretty big name.
Okay. And Venom Inc. was a big name, too.
Yeah, that was one I was really excited for.
Yeah, so let's just say this. Bands like Bachelor's Grove, we feel like are on the same level as us. And Lost in the Echo, Feels Like Karma, we actually haven't heard too much about them before the show, so we didn't really know much going into it. But I'd say the venue itself, the WC Social Club, is becoming a quick favorite of ours.
And even the ones that, like, we didn't really know much about the music going in, it was definitely, like, a pleasant experience being with everybody. Like, all the talent was top notch, and everybody knew how to bring it.
Oh, yeah.
And I will say with that was our second time playing the WC Social Club, because our first time there was when we opened up for Wednesday 13 a couple of years ago.
That's right.
Being back there was just so amazing, because we love that venue, and it was our third or fourth time playing with Bachelor's Grove.
Yeah, I think it was third.
I think our third time, yeah. And so we love playing with them. They're really great friends of ours, and it was just that show in particular, March 9th, was just so wonderful, because Everybody got along. All the bands brought it. The crowd was amazing, and we got to debut 2 brand new songs. So it was just a very special night for us.
Yeah, that's actually really cool. You debuting 2 songs to a crowd that is unfamiliar with your work. I mean, it is Midwest, but it's not Iowa Quad Cities. So, I mean, debuting 2 songs to a crowd like that must feel it's like spectacular.
Well, the cool thing is a lot of the people in the crowd were friends that we met at a Wednesday 13 show at the Forge, like the same year we played with them. Monica and I networked a lot with a lot of people who came to see that show, and in turn, they came and saw us when we opened up for Wednesday later on that year. So it was the same crowd that came back out.
Yeah, that's crazy. So
yeah, it's like really weird and really fun when like people actually like show up to your gigs when they tell you that they're going to show up. I come from a long history of bands where it's like people be like, "Yeah, I'll show up." I'm like, "No, you won't." No, they don't.
Right, like, oh, totally, I'll show up, and they're like,
"My favorite crappy local metal bands."
and you text them to ask them if they're there, and they're like, "Oh, I'm at a doctor's appointment. It's like 10 o'clock at night. Like, what doctor are you going to see?"
Yes, doctor.
Oh yeah, that's right. So,
Dr. Town.
we want to get into detail for each of you guys. So for each of you, how exactly did you get into music, and who were your like favorite bands growing up before you decided to hit the band, like just becoming a part of music, like just as your lifestyle?
Music, I guess, has always been like a big part of my life. You know, my parents took me to go see my very first concert when for my 8th birthday. It actually was a Steve Miller Band. Happened to be on my 8th birthday, so that was pretty cool. And
that's Sid you're talking to.
And I guess I've always been kind of on the heavier side of music. First album I bought with my own money as a kid was the Paranoid album by Black Sabbath. I've always enjoyed like the heavier bands from the 70s and 80s and all the time spans. I've always been really into metal. I was inspired to start playing bass by watching an old video of Cliff Burton shredding on it like he was playing a guitar solo, and bought my first bass when I was 18, so it's been downhill from there.
Right on.
I think you mean uphill.
Uphill means it's a conflict and it's difficult. Downhill, there's nothing difficult about sticking with it except for putting in the practice.
Well, that might be stupid. I always thought if all downhill from here means like things are going bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm just dumb.
Yeah, hey, let's keep up this on top of what he asked. The first album that we bought with our own money, that's actually kind of cool.
First out, so this is Joe. I'm the drummer. So it got me into drums. Well, so I've been playing music since I was like 8, 9, or 10. Most of it's been with my brother. So my older brother, Sam, he plays guitar. He and I have played in probably about 5 or 10 different groups, somewhere around there. I'm actually playing in a couple groups with them right now. One's like a Judas Priest tribute band. The other one's like 70s, 80s, 90s rock an acoustic band. That one's really fun. My brother Sam's awesome.
Yeah,
one of the best guitarists I played with.
You know, Joe, I actually wanted to ask you about that. if you mind if I cut in real quick.
Yeah.
So are some of these bands like True Day, Contraband, and Hexagram?
Yeah, Hex isn't really, that's just more consolidated into Contraband. But nah, so True Day is like 80s, 90s, 2000s, kind of like
Classic
Southern rock, soft rock, acoustic sad boy songs.
Oh, yeah. The good stuff.
And then Contraband's like 70s, 80s, 90s rock. That one I play bass and I sing in. True Day is I do percussion, like cajon and singing.
Right
and
on, yeah.
I just started playing with a Judas Priest tribute band called Manalishi. That one's pretty fun. It's a lot of like some of the older Judas Priest deep cuts that you don't really hear too often, but really, really fun stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And some of those Judas Priest songs, they're weird. Like they got some weird timings in it, like Sinner. That's a tricky song.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it just proves, it goes for show that you love music that much, that you're a part of all these different music groups.
I think what got me into music was, or what got me into drums was hearing Wipeout. That drum solo on the chorus of Wipeout, that just was so fun to hear. And like when I was like 7 years old, man, that was it. That was what made me want to do music.
Oh yeah.
And then parents bought me a drum set. It was like $150 thing they got off of like eBay, cheapest piece of crap you could possibly find. Beat the crap out of that thing, and eventually moved up to an acoustic kit and picked up bass and guitar somewhere along the way. This was the first album that I bought with my real hard-earned money from working at the Family Christian bookstore when I was like 16. Was I think Trivium's Vengeance Falls, I think it was. Although it may have been Judas Priest Painkiller.
Nice.
It was one of those two albums. My first album.
Oh yeah, nice.
And Judas Priest it was like one of my main influences in high school. Like Judas Priest, Iron Maiden, Metallica, Slayer, all that old stuff. Wow. Then I was like, "Ew, screaming! That stuff's gross." Then sometime later, I was like, "Oh yeah, that stuff's really cool." Like it went through my angsty phase and was like, "Yeah, here we go again, motherfucker!" Got into the Slipknot and all that stuff. It's been a blast.
Wow. Let's go, Joe. All right, we need this energy more often.
Hello,
yeah.
Monica here.
Hello, Monica.
So I will say, for me, my sister surprised me with tickets to my very first concert when I was 11 years old, and it was to see Evanescence.
Oh,
And
okay.
Ever since then, I was just instantly hooked. Just seeing the way that Amy Lee was on stage, her voice, like her stage presence, her songwriting, all of it. Like I was just so inspired by that, and that's where it started. And my very first album that I got, surprise, was Fallen by Evanescence.
There we go. There we go.
And I just remember being so heavily influenced by that album, and that's what got me into wanting to start singing. And I remember like when, like one of the first times I met Dustin, you know, him and I were just hanging out. He was playing music. I was singing along to it. And he was like, hold on a minute. He was like, I want to hear you sing. And so when I actually like sang for him, he was like, hey, I'm trying to put this project together if you would want to be my vocalist. And I'm like, sure, this is my first experience ever in a band, but I will do my best. And so Saint October is like the first band that I had ever been in, unlike all these guys who have had experience playing music for years. I did not. So.
Well, yeah. Well, welcome to the party. But yes, you were blessed by Evanescence at 11 years old. That is inspiring. Many little girls these days, not even like mature 20-year-olds, know who Evanescence is, and that's just sad to hear.
Yeah, and I believe it was back when it was still the iWireless Center, and it was with like 6 puppies. It was 6 puppies, Evanescence, and one other band that I, for the life of me, cannot remember. But yeah.
Yeah, I still call it the iWireless Center. I don't know what it's called now. The Vibrant Arena? It's not.
It's changed a million times.
The Mark at Vibrant Credit Union.
Whatever.
Or something like that.
It's iWireless. It's still iWireless to me.
I still call it the Mark.
Yeah.
I'm impartial to Tax Slayer.
Yeah.
They played at the Tax Slayer.
Really?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Slayer played at the Tax Slayer. I think that was like 2015, 2016.
Wow. Amazing stuff going on, man. But yeah. Am I missing anyone else? Was it just you three?
Yeah, it was. I think it was just those three.
No, it's your turn.
Yeah. So, I've always been this good. I've always liked what I liked, and I don't listen to anything that I haven't ever heard before, ever. No.
We're gonna need a little more detail on that, my friend.
All right. No.
I only eat things that I've already eaten.
Yep, and I don't read any books that I haven't already read. No, so yeah, I started out as an alt kid. I listened to a bunch of stuff coming home from like middle school, turning on Fuse when that was still channel 63 on normal cable, and got introduced to a lot of music on that. Then eventually, oh God, I don't want to say it because one of them, the vocalist, turned out to be a fucking monster, but but a lot of those like early to mid 2000, like 2000s.
Oh, so
2000s. Well, I mean, what would you call them? The early 2000s. Yeah. But a lot of the stuff you'd see on Fuse, I'm like, okay, yeah, I like this stuff. And then puberty hit, and just like any other kid, Metallica, Slayer, Slipknot, all that shit kind of all just blended in. And I think that was around the time I bought my first 2 albums. Incubus' The Crow Left of the Murder and The Sickness by Disturbed. Those were the first 2 albums I got on the same day.
Oh man, a pure blessing to hear those 2 albums said right at the same time. And those were your first 2, you said?
Yeah. Ironically enough, I got them with Easter money.
Remember the great days of like playing RuneScape in middle school with Disturbed Meaning the Light playing in the background?
Oh yeah.
Oddly enough, I tried pushing that on like the football crew back in the day. But no, then I was blessed to be introduced to the harder stuff, moving on to more obscure bands. Well, obscure for people around here at the time. Bands like Schoolyard Heroes, Frankenstein Drag Queens from Planet 13, eventually leading into Murder Dolls, Wednesday 13, LVD, Cradle of Filth, bands like that before graduating. And just kind of kept evolving from there.
Wow. That's how
Yeah. Oh, I also forgot the mindfuck that was Guitar Hero 2. That's what got me into wanting to play guitar, because all these fucking nerds would go around saying, oh, I could play Thunder Horse on guitar. And I've always been kind of a one-up kind of guy, so I went out, got a guitar, and actually failed playing that song for fucking ever, but learned a whole bunch of others.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's some great stuff right there.
Yeah, it's kind of like that episode of South Park where the kids were playing Guitar Hero, and Randy's like, oh, yeah? Well, I could play the real deal, and nobody gave a fuck. That was my whole musical thing, and then I stuck with it out of spite.
Guitar Hero 3 is what introduced me to power metal and In Flames.
And I'll say for me too, like after me getting into middle school, high school is when I got into bands like Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, and then I want to say the second album that I got with my own money was Scream Aim Fire that's the name of the album, right? Scream Aim Fire by Bullet, yeah. And then after that, I got heavily into black metal, like my freshman, sophomore year of high school, and listened to a lot of black metal throughout that. And I'll say that, like, with our new stuff, like the screams that I do in our new stuff are heavily influenced by black metal vocals.
Wow.
So
I mean, it makes sense.
I completely forgot there was a period of time where I went through an Avenged Sevenfold worship right around the time where City of Evil was released.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, Avenged Sevenfold is probably one of my favorite bands in around 17 or 18.
Yeah.
Really good stuff.
Mm-hmm. Anything past self-titled was kind of...
Yeah. I love Nightmare. Nightmare was...
The album or the song?
Everything. Oh.
You only like it because of Portnoy.
I mean, it's good. Portnoy's good drumming, but Once to the Family, Natural Born Killer, that's good stuff. and that 7-minute or 10-minute song with that Save Me at the end.
That one starts off with bass line and just the ride.
Yeah, that was good.
And sorry, I don't know how I forgot this. I feel like when I'm put on the spot, I forget things. But what made me want to start learning how to do harsh metal vocals was listening to Elisa White Glues and The Agonist. Oh my God. Her fucking voice heavily inspired me. And I was like, whoa, this chick can do that. She's badass. I want to learn how to do that.
I mean,
that's the other one, I believe. Oh, no, it's Elisa. Okay, yeah.
By the way, these guys, Joe and Sid talked about how they got their first instrument. I forgot to put in mine. I fucking did a bunch of odd yard work, detasseling, all sorts of stuff to get a crappy Les Paul knockoff and a little silver Esteban amp. Yeah, that's and instead of an instrument cable, the guy gave me a speaker cable. So I shit tone right off the bat.
right.
My first instrument was a black 5-string Rogue that I bought from a pawn shop for $100.
Oh man! Wow, only for $100.
Yep, bought it with my second paycheck. My first paycheck went to like a bunch of bills, and then my second paycheck I had $100 extra. I actually played without an amp for a few weeks until I could get myself one.
Yeah. Yep. Nice. Yeah, I was blessed by my aunt who didn't use her bass guitar, so I got lucky, and she also gave me an amp with the chords and everything, so I got lucky because she was going to throw it away, but she found it in her closet before she did, so she gave it to me. I was blessed.
Hell yeah.
I'm more of a
Nice.
I like bass guitars. I'm sorry, electric guitar players. But yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
But yeah, also my first CD, my first album that I got was Nirvana Unplugged MTV on CD. So I also got that, which was awesome.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, right at Best Buy. Right at Best Buy in the bargain bin. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go right ahead.
Yeah, and like I guess like after, because I grew up initially listening to a lot of classic rock that my dad listened to, and so like gravitating towards the heavier stuff like Black Sabbath and all that. And I find myself now kind of going like, so I dove into listening to a lot of thrash metal and death metal and black metal and doom metal. And I'm like coming back around full circle. The last like 5 or so years, I really got into like instrumental prog.
Ooh.
Stuff like Intervals and Pliny and Steve Vai and
I do like some prog.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
The most I like about Steve Vai is when Devin Townsend sang for him.
Noise.
I like it when it gets a little jazzy, not gonna lie.
Right on, yeah. You gotta love the old classic stuff before you get into the new stuff. You gotta know where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I could totally agree with that. But yeah. So moving forward, I have a few questions for you guys, some achievements that you've won in the past, and a few recent announcements that you guys have made, and we want to get to the public. So for starters, you guys recently announced you're going to go on tour to the UK.
Thank you.
So, I mean,
Super excited.
Have you guys? I'm just gonna. I'm pretty sure I know the answer. Have you guys ever done an international tour before?
We haven't even gone a tour yet,
I have never been out of the country.
We have never done any tour before.
let alone I've never been out of the country.
Neither have
Wow.
I.
So you guys are all heading to the UK along with Secrium, who are already from the UK, and you're going to go on tour. So
Yeah,
we,
Sacrium was gracious enough to have us.
so yeah, I mean, we just want to know how on earth you guys got this opportunity.
It came through memes. I'm not even joking. It started with memes. So I was on Facebook drunk one night, just doing random ads, and this guy pops up, guitar tech for like Drowning Pool, Cradle of Filth, and those guys, and I just like, you're cool. I'm gonna add you. And then dude started posting memes. I started reacting. I started posting memes. He started reacting, and the beautiful friendship just blossomed from there. That happens to be the vocalist and guitar player for Secrium.
Wow.
Yeah, and it started off as a joke, and then it was like, wait, could this happen? Could we make this happen?
Yeah, because at first we were both, Dustin, Sonny, we're both like, wow, we really like your music. Like, you guys are really good. And he said the same about us. And then we were both like, oh, if only we could get to your neck of the woods sometime. And then, like Dustin said, it was just like, well, can we? Can this actually happen? And then we sat down and planned it out, and yep, it's actually happening.
Yeah, it only took 2 years of us, well, about a year and a half, almost 2 years of us keeping quiet about the details on it until we announced it this year.
Right. That's just insane to hear because, I mean, this is just crazy because how many states have you been to, would you say? Do you have any record of that at all? Like how many states you've visited?
For band stuff?
Yeah, for the band.
Just 2 so far, Iowa and Illinois.
What a major jump this is going to be. You're gonna fly over all these states to go to another country to play, which is amazing.
Well, you know what? If other bands would start having us more, we'll play more areas.
I mean, there you go. And this will look great on the resume. I'm just kidding, but yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we technically have an award under our belt.
You're right.
For our first music video.
You're right. With Emily Laxa. I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing her name wrong.
Emil. His name is Emil.
Yep.
Emil. I'm so sorry,
Emil Laxa and Ben Schmidt.
Yeah, the Award of Achievement for Art Direction.
Yeah.
For
honestly,
White Goddess.
Ben and Emil are like the best crew that we've worked with, and Ben, Emil, and also their partner Julia filmed the Sweet Fuck You Bye video, and we are just so stoked for that because they are just a phenomenal team, and we know it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And every time they do a video for us, one of them get hurt.
Wow.
Like I think during the White Goddess video, Ben cracked a rib or something like that. He bumped and he hurt something in his ribs. And then Emil tripped during not White Goddess, but Rituals. Hey, sorry, cat. And then Julie during the wood scene, she tripped over a branch.
Oh no, Julia!
So at every single music video, you guys have succumbed to an injury.
Yep, none of the band, but the camera crew. I'm surprised with all the goth girls that we had dancing around with the hairspray and the makeup, they didn't catch fire.
Yeah, what is your deal, guys? I'm just kidding, but
yeah, those are so far the 2 accolades we got, aside from being able to say we played with XYZ group.
Yeah, wow. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. But yeah, that's amazing. So we're so glad to see you guys head on over to London, and we're going to be seeing what you guys can, put on a show for over there. So
I think we're going to be the first U.S., actually any international band to be playing Sarcoma Fest.
Wow. Another amazing honor under your belt for St. October.
It's going to be a blast, man.
I bet it will be.
Honestly, though, the tour would have never been possible if it wasn't for Sonny Antonio from Secrium. He's the one that planned this whole thing because he's basically going to be the tour manager. And if it wasn't for him booking this tour and getting us, this opportunity, it just would have never been possible. So we're very thankful for him for that.
Yeah, those guys are really taking care of us. They're taking care of the hotel, the transportation. We just got to get ourselves there and feed ourselves.
That's amazing. Wow. So I'm going to have to interview Securium now.
Secrium.
Secrium. I keep messing up these names. I need to start pronouncing things better. Emily and not Emil. Secrium. Secrium. It's whatever.
You should definitely check out their Voice of Reason EP. It's a banger.
I'll definitely check it out. So I have a few questions for each of you. I've already done one for Joe, but I have another one for him later. But I want to start out with Monica. By the way, this question was a while ago. I wanted to know if you knew what a Vanilla Ice Nirvana was from Dun Bros.
Vanilla Ice Nirvana? Yeah, I've had those.
What is it? I've never heard of that before.
I think it's basically just like their cold brew. Like their iced coffee cold brew.
Yeah.
they just call in Nirvana. I don't know.
Okay. Would that be considered your favorite iced coffee there, or do you have a personal favorite from somewhere else or the same place, or what's your preferred choice of iced coffee or just coffee in general?
I love Coffee House off of Jersey Road, or sorry, off of Jersey Ridge.
Right, Jersey Ridge. Okay.
Jersey Ridge Road. Yeah, they're really good. Their coffee is top notch.
Yeah,
really good.
You know, it's starting to become like the popularity, like the most popular thing I've seen around the Quad Cities is a bunch of coffee houses that are just showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. Atomic, and there's the 327s, and then there's Dun Bros and Starbucks. There's everywhere at every Hy-Vee. All of a sudden,
I like Red Band, but
Red Band's good too.
Yeah, but even with all the great coffee houses popping up, in my opinion, nothing beats a good coffee made at home in a French press.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, I agree.
I think the Quad Cities is progressively getting worse and worse sleep schedules, and is needing more and more coffee to keep functioning.
But speaking of coffee, I want to give a shout out to Jimmy from Coffee House. When Monica took a tumble down the stairs earlier this year, that dude hand delivered coffee from Coffee House to her.
Wow, amazing.
Yeah, we actually. Yeah, I mean, it had nothing to do with the fact that we played an acoustic show there earlier. Actually mid last year.
Jimmy's a cool dude. Coffee House is a cool place.
Drink it; it's good.
Okay,
We're not being paid to say this, by the way.
But
Yeah.
Jimmy, if you want to throw us a couple bucks for saying that, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if he'll pay me to get a sponsorship for this video, but for now on, this video is not sponsored by Coffee House. Maybe it will be though.
Wait till we get the wave.
Maybe it will be though. You never know.
Right.
But yeah, for Joe, I wanted to know about your time at Augustana.
Oh, yeah. So I with Augie, I was going to do a music career because I was going to do a music major. I started freshman year in music, taking all the theory classes, learning all the chords, triads, 7 chords, scales, and all that cool stuff, and memorizing a bunch of classical pieces to recognize them on the listening test. And I started out with music ed. So music ed, you have to take psych. I fell asleep day one of my psych class. So that took me from music ed to just music general. And then music general, you got to do piano proficiency. I was deemed not proficient at piano. So that kind of ended my music career because I didn't want to retake the class. It's hard. Like music majors, they put in like twice as many hours as every other major. From like performances, you have bands you have to be in, you have practices. It's a lot of hours, way harder than what I ended up doing, which was accounting. So second year, I'm like, I don't want this to all be for nothing. So I started business, and in business they start you in the accounting classes. And I was like, hey, this numbers stuff, I'm kind of good at that.
Yeah.
So just stuck with that, loved math, ended up with a nice, boring career in accounting where I can have the most exciting life
Yeah.
of all the people I work with.
Sound...
Being able to go out and rock out on weekends with all my bands and have a fun time. Everyone else is
What more could you ask for?
Other boring stuff with families and kids and stuff. So, ew.
Well, what more could you ask for?
I feel like you delivered half of that in the style of Wesley Willis.
But yeah. All right. So I'll be honest with you, Dustin. I'm gonna go on a very big chance here. I don't know if you know this show. I don't know if you're a fan of this show. You might know it. You might not know it. Are you a fan of Dragon Ball Z?
No, I absolutely hate that show.
Oh, well, there we go.
It's just nothing but intro level weebs. I'm just fucking with you. We named our cat after Broly.
Oh my God. There we go. Oh man. You guys have no idea.
To be fair, we couldn't decide. We couldn't decide between the Evil Dead and Dragon Ball, so we just combined both names.
Great cat.
And he's not the only Dragon Ball fan. I've been watching Dragon Ball Z since I was a little kid.
There we go. Oh boy.
I also
Oh.
watched a bunch of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, I'll be honest with you guys. I've had notes for this interview, and it's been so long that I haven't looked at the notes in a while, and I wanted to keep this in there just in case that you guys were a fan of the show.
Except this is my personal opinion. Monica Rial, Sean Schemmel, and Christopher Sabat could suck the devil's dick for what they did to Vic Mignogna. That's just a personal opinion.
I don't know what any of that means.
They ousted a guy from his job because they weren't getting the big bucks for it.
Wow. Wow.
Like Johnny Depp, Amber Heard adjacent kind of shit.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball is awesome, and the Dragon Ball Abridged series is where most of my humor comes from when I was in high school.
The Dragon Ball Abridged series was amazing.
Admittingly, I think Dragon Ball Super was too influenced by Dragon Ball Abridged.
Yeah. And I just wanted to, Akira Toriyama, you guys probably heard the news that he passed away, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're working on gathering the balls as we speak.
A little tribute show should go out just for him from St. October. You should play the intro. That would be an interesting way to see you guys play a tribute for him. Play the intro of Dragon Ball Z.
Which one? We talking about old school Z, or are we talking about Dragon Ball? Because I don't think I want to do. I won't touch Super. Maybe GT, but not Super.
It's got to be.
The intro is kind of cheesy, though.
We could always change it.
Yeah.
Make your own. Make your own version. Combine them all. Make your own. It's dark metal.
Speaking of Dragon Ball, we also really like going to eat at Eddie's Snack Bar. They're like a Dragon Ball Z themed sushi ramen place, and they're really good.
Oh yeah, that sounds nice. Yeah, that sounds really nice. But yeah,
we Dragon Ball nerds.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I had a few questions about the band. In 2020, so 4 years ago, you guys had a concert in iRock 93.5's parking lot.
Oh, the failed parking lot gig.
Oh,
yep.
Boy.
Because, yeah. Go ahead,
I
please.
wasn't in the band there. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, back then, the only two members that were around for that are still here are Monica and myself.
Yeah.
We had three previous members. We had our ex-drummer, ex-guitarist, and ex-bass player. One of those people we're still on good terms with. But that show was fun. That was kind of like a fuck you COVID kind of thing we did.
Mm-hmm.
We supplied our own PA. We set up out there, decided to live stream it, and it was so dry. Like, it was so dry out there. Strings, I don't know if you've ever played guitar outside, but depending on the humidity level, strings can turn into nice, slick, slinky feeling things to uncooked spaghetti noodles. The wind was really against us every time I tried to look down at the board. I just get a face full of my own hair. A lot of wind coming through the mic, causing some feedback. It was a struggle bus, but it was fun. Got to play guitar in the middle of Brady Street.
I know, especially during that time, COVID was a big factor when it came to people playing outside or being outside at all. Just staying indoors and quarantining. So it was great to see you guys get to play out there that year.
Oh yeah, we were just going to get a generator and do it in the Comics parking lot. We thought we would have got a much bigger crowd that way, with everybody waiting 2 hours in line for their 5 to 6 hour drink.
Yeah, you're right. But I wanted to go a little further back to 2018, specifically March 30th of 2018. Did you guys debut in Hook's Pub in Clinton?
Yeah.
What was Hook's Pub? I've never been there before.
They used to do a lot of live music. I don't know what they do now.
I think they do just like acoustic acts now. I don't think they do metal anymore.
Yeah.
But they're just like a bar that I don't know what kind of food they serve there. Just like bar food, right? Or
I have no clue. I haven't kept up with Hook.
I'm gonna be honest. I have not been to Hook's Pub since that show.
Really? Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, I think our ex-drummer had some beef with the owner, so we weren't invited back.
Shame on him.
Yeah, our ex-drummer and his other band. Yeah, I think they had some personal issues with the owner, so we haven't quite gone back or stepped foot in the place since.
I'm pretty sure Joe would lighten his mood and you get you guys back in.
Yeah, if they do acoustic acts, I'll just get True Day to get the foot in the door.
True Day can play there.
Yeah, I'm sure True Day could play there because they don't know about your affiliation. Well, I mean, you're the guy who replaced the problem at the time.
But the best thing to do is say your secret plans in a public forum.
Or go to court. I'm just kidding.
It ain't worth it that much. I wish them all the best. I wish the other guys all the best. It's just weird situation where it was a band by association or something like that.
Right. Yeah. So I want to go back to the St. October with Wednesday 13 event. I mean, you guys already did the WC Club. This was also at the WC Club, like the first show at WC, right?
Okay, so it was a lot of firsts. It was our first time with our now drummer Joe. Hi. It was our first time debuting in Chicago. It was our first time using our backtracks live with MIDI automation. It was a lot of firsts. Right. Our first time playing with our friends in Bachelor's Grove and Theological. Yeah, it was a lot of firsts. Super excited to have Joe there with us, and super excited to have our rock solid bass player Sid. Since then, we've had a really, really good lineup going forward.
Yeah. Yep. And it's just like I just want to know the preparation it takes from you to go to like a Quad Cities venue compared to like Chicago, which is a bigger city, it's further away, and you need to know a lot more than what you normally know now. What does it take? Like, how long would you say it would take compared to like a Quad Cities venue to set up and get ready to play in front of all those people?
You kind of have to hustle with it more a little bit because it's a nonstop kind of go type thing out there.
Say, yeah, we have to be a lot more time efficient and a lot quicker in Chicago because, like Sid said, it's just go. Like, there's no, like, time to sit around, fuck around. Like, you have to get moving as soon as possible.
Yeah, we're lucky enough that all of us, aside from drums, all of us are DI, and everything is toted in a rack. So our entire rig for, like, wirelesses, tones, in-ear, stuff like that is all on one rack. So while I get that set up, the rest of the guys help Joe get his stuff situated. So I guess the best thing we can say on that is get there as early as you can be. Like, if the venue's opening, like letting the band's in at 4, you get there at 3:30.
Yeah.
Just so like you can get the majority of the stuff already set up outside. So all you have to do is just drag it in.
Yeah, it also gives you enough time to go hustle whatever piece I forgot of my kit 3 hours back at the Quad Cities from some other drummer. Like, hey, anyone got a drum rug I could borrow?
Wow. Yeah. Yep.
I will say, like, the last show was pretty good, though, because Joe was gracious enough to let a couple of the other bands use his kit, so that made our setup and tear down time a lot quicker because the band before us and the band after us used his kit. So we were like, shit, the drums are already set up. All right. We can go.
We only got to worry about like 3 more instruments, so we're fine.
Yeah, and we typically offer gear sharing too. Like we have a Helix and a Kemper in our rack, so if another band doesn't mind doing DI and like trusting the monitors of the venue, I mean that's always an option for some of the bands. So we can just like leave the stuff up there.
The other massive benefit to it is like someone is enjoying one of the other bands and they're like, man, this band rocks. Who is that? And then they look at the kick drum and they see St. October's logo. They might go buy our shirt instead.
I didn't know St. October played country music. This is amazing.
Actually, fun fact, when I play with True Day, I have my same kit with the St. October logo on the kick.
I called it.
Yeah. So like when I'm like playing like CCR and like loudspeakers.
Oh yeah.
He's got a demonic nun with pointy fingers and the St. October logo on his kick drum.
Yeah.
Wow. What a strange logo for someone that's playing Out My Back Door. Oh, well, interesting.
Ooh, I got a little change in my pocket.
So when Daniel's running away.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So we're finally down to the final few questions here, guys. So just to start off, for each of you, you guys have played in the Quad Cities for years now, and you've been all across, you've been across to Illinois, and, you've been to a few venues there. What is your favorite place to play at personally? Like, what is your favorite venue? What is your favorite setup? What was your favorite place to play? Just period.
Oh, this is Sid. I would probably have to vote my favorite place to play at so far is Wildwood.
Ooh, yeah. I've gotten a lot of good answers from there.
And it may or may not be influenced by the food they serve there. It is pretty awesome.
It is very awesome.
The stage itself, it's like the way it's elevated and the sound system they have there and the whole like dance floor there with the balconies up there. It's such a great place to look down upon from the stage, and the crowd always brings it there. Plus the food's amazing again.
It is amazing. Yeah, I've been there to watch Non Grata, and the food is spectacular. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm with Sid. With me, it's a tie between WC and Wildwood. I love Wildwood, like Sid said, not only for the food, but just because like some of like the best shows we've ever played were at Wildwood. Like the show with Nervosa, the show with Goat Whore, the show with Venom Inc. Like those shows were super fun, energetic. The crowd was amazing. And I love the atmosphere at Wildwood. I always look forward to playing there. And then WC, just for the sake of it being in Chicago, like the times we played there were always really fun. And they also have great food. And I don't know, like for me, it's a tie between those two. I love those venues.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for me, I'm not going to have anything too original to say on the Wildwood front. Food's great. Stage is fun. Great place, great atmosphere. It also has that really cool, like, two-tier thing. There's, like, the upper floor that, like, they're looking down. It's really cool build-out. But for, like locally with True Dance, they call them the favorite place to play is probably Gypsy Highway in Davenport. Virgil's an awesome guy, treats his bands well, and he also lets me use the house kick. So my setup is like 5 minutes. I walk in, I put my sticks down, I go grab a beer. Okay, I'm set up.
Oh, yeah.
Super easy.
Man, yeah.
Yeah, this is Dustin. My favorite venue to play is Wake Brewing's bathroom.
Now we're going to the great places right there.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a real underground music venue.
I know, the cleanest bathrooms in the brewery game. But anywho, there's a few venues that I really liked playing over the years. Some unique ones. Definitely not Boggs Hole in Des Moines. But I would have to say there's one place we played about 3 hours away in a shitty little town called Keokuk. There's this venue that we played at called Joysticks, the Rock Dock. So Pete, the owner, before they closed down, I think they reopened, and I think they're wanting to do music again, and I hope that's the case. But the owner, Pete, always took really good care of us. He comped us a hotel room, made sure we got a nice hotel with a pool and all that. And whenever we'd play there, he'd always have like a shit ton of beer and pizza available to us. Like all our food and drinks were comped and everything. It was a great time.
Yeah, Pete always made sure we were very well fed, and the pizza there was phenomenal.
Yeah, before they closed down the first time, like I said, I think they just made a comeback and they're back in business. But we were supposed to get our own signature pizza, like we've been harassing Lopez for the last couple of years.
That's awesome.
But,
That's awesome.
No, these guys said Wildwood, the WC. Those are some really cool venues. I really like Rascals, but the Village Theater is also a good one too. It's kind of like our not our home, but feels like home adjacent.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did a music video there. We've had a few good shows there. We've had a bunch of good times at the Village Theater. Matt's a cool cat. He runs the place. He's a good guy. He's fun to work with.
Yeah, totally agree. It's a great place. I'll say that. But yeah, we are finally down to our final 2 questions here, and this is just for the band in total. We've already gotten announcements that you guys are heading to London and that you guys are also, I mean, just UK. I don't know if you guys are specifically going to London for any of those spots. Are you guys?
Yeah, the Cart and Horses.
Nice. Okay. But you guys are heading to the UK and you guys are releasing a music video. What else do you guys have in store for your audience? Like, what are we going to be seeing? More concerts, more album releases? Are we going to be seeing more merchandise on sale? Like, what are we going to be seeing as the audience point of view?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're also going to try to figure out how to do social media and post content regularly. I think that is the thing that we were talking about trying to do and figure it out.
And I'm also planning on doing my own live streams on Twitch of me playing, doing bass playthroughs of stuff. And once I get to the point where people can subscribe, then I'll make it to where subscribers can request songs, and then I'll learn the songs that they request and play them live for them. And also kind of incorporate a little bit of gaming content too to branch out.
Careful now, Twitch might copyright kill you for playing your own music.
I just got a disabled VOD.
But as for Say in October, I think we're working on releasing a few new singles. We've already got 2 that are completely finished and ready to air out whenever we decide the right time. One of them being Sweet Succubi for the music video, another being our album ender. And
I'd say right now, shows are cool too. I want the world to hear it.
I want the world to hear it too, but we need videos.
Yeah.
2 of them I think we're going to do 2 lyric videos for. 2 singles. Well,
I'll make that shit in Microsoft Paint. Let's do it tonight.
Ah, fuck, but we haven't sent it out. So, yeah, aside from doing most of the production in-house through Lunar Grove Studios, I'm doing a little shameless self-plug there, but...
I was about to say, when are you going to talk about the recording biz?
Ooh, not yet. I mean, I have taken on clients like High Five Sinners. Their new EP has been tracked here, but we're currently working on our newest album. Yeah, we're finishing up the stuff. Joe did all his drum tracking last year, like in the summer.
Yeah, I had a fun time relearning what the heck I played like 1 year ago, so that my hands look like they match the music for the music video.
But yeah, we're in the process of finishing up our new album, and then we send out the stems to Jack Costo of Seven Spires of Costo Audio as well, and that's how we get to mix our stuff. So we have to take those steps first before we can release the rest of the album. But we do have 2 brand new singles ready to fire out.
Nice.
And my cats are currently growling at each other. Boys, knock it off.
And we do also plan on doing like a limited run of exclusive merch for the tour as well. So that'll be really exciting.
I'm gonna need my hands on one of those. Pretty please.
Oh yeah, and one of our singles that we're going to be releasing is with a very, very special guest. I cannot say who it is because it is a surprise.
But I want to know.
I know that it is going to be amazing, and I hate that we have been sitting on this song for so long because it is the first single that we actually finished on the album, and I want it to be out in the world, but just know that it will be worth the wait.
I will give one hint as to who it could be. It's Dan Freetag at Pit Lord. No, but Dan, we love you, Dan, and Pit Lord. But the band that this person is, an ex-member of a little band called Cradle of Kilth.
Ooh.
An ex-member of that band.
Okay.
I'll let you switch the letters around. Cradle of Kilt.
Cradle of Kilt. You heard that, people. You gotta unscramble that for me.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But yes, we will
Is
definitely.
that I am Lord Voldemort? Who is that?
Well, it's up to everybody else to decode. But
Yeah.
yes, this person,
Street Girls team.
yeah, they did an awesome job on this track, and we're super stoked to share it.
Nice. Yeah, we're excited for that, guys. We're excited. But yeah, we are finally down to our final question. And I've said to every single band, musician, and artist I've had on this wonderful show of mine. For each of you, if you could give us your own answers, what would you tell the young and aspiring musicians who really want to take their passion and put it out in the world, but they don't know what they're doing?
Try to have a bigger dick than Sid. That's not going to be possible.
You heard it. You heard it here, folks. Good luck.
But my advice is go for it. Look up how to do it. You don't even really have to spend a whole bunch of big bucks to do it, because if you have a guitar or bass, an instrument cable, and a computer, you can make music. That's really all you need, and you don't even really need to spend any money above that to do it.
No, and if you're smart, you can get MIDI maps together, and then I guess we don't need real drummers anymore.
I am obsolete.
The hell you are. Guitar Pro can't do you.
My advice to the aspiring musician: you suck, and you gotta suck for a very long time until you get good, and you gotta publish the fact that you're bad. You have to release crap. Just get it out there, like get it out of your system. Get all that like self awareness and like anxiety about like, oh, people are gonna see me not being good. Just get it out there. Go on stage and suck. And if you do it enough times, eventually you'll be good at it.
I'm going to take the Peter Steele approach on this, adding on to what Joe and Sid said. People may say you suck, but in the words of Peter Steele and Typo Negative, but each time we suck a little less.
But at like the age of like 14 or something, I was singing very shitty Iron Maiden covers of like a really weak with my heavy metal band on stage. It was bad, man. That's some cringe. But fortunately, you get you working all the crap out of the system, and you get used to being on stage and making mistakes, and you get better every time you do it.
Yeah, the more I'm hearing about each one of our stories, the more I think Monica got real lucky just walking into this the way she did.
I mean,
You didn't have to suffer through the shitty band.
Yeah, you get
It didn't suck. No, but I agree with them, and also will say that to anyone who's thinking about doing it, just go for it. Don't give up on your dreams. Never think you're not good enough. You are good enough. You can do whatever you set your mind to, and never let anybody tell you that you can't do it. Fuck them. You can do it, and you will do it if you really want to.
Yeah, all that except the opposite. There's some 14-year-old kid on Instagram who's better than you, and you will never be as good as that kid.
That's right. Give up. Music is a competition. If you're not first, you're last.
I was scrolling through Instagram, and like there's like this like 14-year-old girl who's flashing at like 280 beats per minute, and I'm like, I've been playing drums longer than she's been alive, and she's like 30 beats faster than me.
Have you seen that lady who's like blast beating in like 6-inch steel platforms? That's crazy.
you can't let her get the best of you, man. She's out
Well,
for
yeah, to stick your nose to the grind. Don't do it for anyone else but yourself.
Pick songs that you want to hear.
Yeah.
And don't ever be ashamed of listening to your own music if you like it.
Just don't wear your own band merch on stage.
And if you need to make money with music, play covers.
That's just how it goes. You know what? You guys have some really good advice there. So
Did the covered band fund the original band?
That's right.
but yes, yeah, totally great advice there. unfortunately here, guys, that is all the time we have today. I just want to say this has been an honor to have you guys on my show. I can't wait to post this out to the world for them to hear it. And thank you guys so much for being here with me today.
Thank you so much for having me.
We will
It's been
see.
a good time, man. Thanks for having us.
Yes, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the Quad Cities before I head back to school. So, yeah, we'll see you guys next time.
Yeah, what's going for?
And that'll be today's episode of Music with Mason. If you enjoyed, please consider hitting the subscribe button and the like button. I know I took a very long break, and I am extremely sorry for the amount of time you've had been waiting for another episode to come out. And unfortunately, I will try my best and find a way to make more Music with Mason videos while I'm on summer break. But unfortunately, I will look at different types of work, and I will be doing my best as to finding time for you guys, because you guys are basically the only reason I keep doing these. These bands that accept these interviews, I don't know how or why. I'm so lucky for them to be with me today, and it's just been a true pleasure. And I really hope them all the best, and I really want them to do really well. And we will be seeing them again, hopefully. So, again, thank you guys so much for joining me. As always, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check out St. October. I will leave their information in the description below. And as always, we will see you guys next time.